All right, everyone. Welcome to the Offset Conversations podcast here with our good friend, Mr. Nestor. Thank you so much for making time for us, man. I really appreciate
A-
it.
a- Anything for you, man.
Anything
Anything.
for me. after I got your name wrong the very first time
After you
first
shit on my fitment every time.
well, it's not my fault. I mean, if
Hey, it's
people
not
were
my
to see
island.
the fact that you still call it a fitment, that's what makes
If
it laughable because you actually
it's
think you
because
have fitment.
if fits, right?
It doesn't even fit with that car. That's the bad part, dude. I thought I had bad fitment when I had that issue with the coilovers. You beat me to it.
I
You
know
did
it
it on
looks like
purpose.
you flipped the knuckles on that thing.
And you, and you did it on purpose. That's the sad part. But
It's
no,
good.
Nestor.
I'm the only one that drives, bro.
No, no, no. There's no excuse for poor fitment, and we'll get into that. But to those that may not know, Nestor drives a badass Integra sedan, and from the first time that we met, like we had a pretty good vibe, and I think the video showed that a little bit. There was such good positive feedback from people, just like, man, I really like his vibe and things of that nature. And so you definitely have to be one of the people that I wanted to have conversations with about just random stuff. And
Dude, that's honestly kind of crazy because nobody even likes me here.
it's because you steal their money or something. you're,
I have
you're
that
constantly
face.
you're constantly posting on your story who wants to roll. Nobody wants to roll.
Nobody will. No matter how nice I am.
Honestly, that's how it was though, man. Like that's how it's always been for me. Like I've always been like, hey, who wants to caravan to an event? Crickets, food.
Nada.
Uh, but that's all. I'll go by myself. I didn't want to go with nobody.
And that's all right. I only want someone to go with me just in case I, break down or something.
You don't
Because,
break down though. You build good stuff.
yeah, I haven't broken down. It's just I'm very picky.
You guys stay refs. We'll get into a little bit of that.
No, man.
Now that you're like driving your car all over. So
uh,
the way I want to take this is I want to get to know you, right? So who's Nestor? Where did he grow up? What kind of kid was he in school? And
no,
after
man.
that, we can get into everything else, man.
All right. Well, I was born and raised here in, we can say, in San Diego, Chula Vista. Um, Around the age of 5, my dad was really old to have me. You know what I mean? Like he
Hmm.
was 56 and my mom was like in early 30s. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, first of all, your dad got game to have a
I
37-year-old
know
wife,
that
and
fool.
second of all,
Oops, baby.
that's 55.
Yeah, yeah. He was up there, man. He was pushing the limit for sure.
That's dope.
But yeah, he had a heart attack,
Hmm.
and he couldn't pay for the hospitalization, and he couldn't really pay for anything. So he had to sell the house, and we moved to TJ, and ever since then, like I'm a TJ boy.
How old were you when you moved
But
to TJ?
I was like at the end of 5, and then once we moved over there, like we tried to find something, back in the day, it was kind of cheaper over there.
Hmm.
It's still cheap, but it's going up in price.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was pretty ghetto, and obviously I'm a little kid, so I don't know better. So I'm over there running in the streets and like 6, like the typical Mexican lifestyle is just running all over the streets to like 11 until you hear your mom whistle, come back home. It
So
was pretty cool.
you adapted pretty quickly though. It was easy.
Yeah, it was really easy because I don't know, I didn't really have friends over there, and then eventually
So
everybody
this
that
is
lived
not a
around.
new thing. You just been
It's not
all over.
new, bro.
You know this.
It's not new.
You throw off negative vibes. Way. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Me ven con la cara como que les voy a pedir algo, no sé. Yeah.
That guy's gonna ask you for food. Don't get near.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. So
They're like, dile que no estoy.
easy transition then.
Yeah, it was like I really didn't really have friends at the beginning over here. I don't know, like I was kind of I don't think I was awkward. I just didn't really socialize that much. But I andaba con todos los morrillos, like I would be playing with everybody. But luckily,
You were playing by yourself, thinking that you were playing with them.
yeah, ándale, I would be like,
I'll
dale
go
el
play by
control,
yourself, Nestor. Hide and seek by yourself is a new game.
I never got caught.
You're undefeated.
Uh,
Um, So what did you do though? Like you had to spend your time on something.
Well, when I was a kid, I just did my own thing, little kid things. Iba al mercado. Me gustaba ir al mercado and just get to, shop around, eat different food. And my mom would always take me around everywhere, take me to my grandma's house. And I rode along like buses and taxis for like toda mi niñez, taxis and buses. But it's a different lifestyle than over here.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely like third world country-ish because everything's just so, I don't know, it just feels, when something goes wrong, it feels like it goes wrong bad, because
Yeah.
it's just the se te va la luz and like the whole colonia is without a luz for like a month almost. It's just a little different than over here.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I adapted pretty good. Um, Luckily, I found friends, but everybody was just older than me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 8 years old, and like my neighbor was like 13, and the front was like 15. I'm hanging out with these dudes, and obviously I'm youngest, so I got picked on a lot. But they choose malandros.
Yeah. So it's good and bad hanging out with older people then.
Yeah, there's definitely ups and downs. They definitely did not teach me anything good. Uh,
Yeah, that's just how it goes up.
yeah,
But at
and
least if you're with bigger people, you're not gonna get picked on. Well, that's the idea,
yeah,
right?
yeah, right. But they definitely pick on you.
So
But
then, what was it that you were into cartoons? Are you a single child?
no, dude. Okay, so I mentioned how my dad's older than me. I mean, obviously older than me. He's the oldest.
No, you didn't mention that. I didn't guess.
But my dad was way
But
older
by
than my
months,
mom.
though, by months.
Yeah, by a couple days. So my dad was a lot older than my mom. So he already had his own family going on.
Mm,
And then on his side, he had a daughter and a son, which are my half sister and half brother, but I still consider them my siblings.
yeah.
Um, but they themselves are 30 years older than me. So yeah, so
Whoa.
they could be my parents.
Wow. So yeah, that was kind of hard to bond with the 30-year-old when you're like 6 months.
Yeah,
That's
but yeah.
crazy.
And then on my mom's side, I just had a brother, and honestly, to this day, I don't know his age. I know I've never really looked into when I was a kid. To me, he was 27, and he was 27 for like 8 years. So I never really knew his age. I just know when his birthday is, but I never really put, when he was
No
born or
months.
anything. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's weird,
Uh-huh.
but
But so then
but
you
yeah,
didn't have anybody at the house, like you don't have cousins at the same age, and so.
I did. I did. I grew up with rest in peace, my cousin, Rudy. Like he was like my brother to me. He was like one of the closest things to a brother to me because my brother in that time, he was in like bad steps, and he didn't really he loved me, but he me maltrataba, like he would hit me and shit. So it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a cool
Mm-hmm.
brotherly love.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But luckily to now it's different. But my cousin Rudy, for sure, he was like my ride or die. He was like my brother, and we went everywhere. My dad took us everywhere, and there was a point that we were like, let's just adopt them.
And so Rudy was in TJ también.
Yeah, he's 100% in TJ all the time.
Okay. So that's kind of like you did have, like you say, you mentioned you hung out with the grandma, so grandma was in TJ as well.
Yeah, yeah. My
Okay.
grandma was in TJ too. Like my mom, everybody on my mom's side was in TJ,
Oh,
and
okay.
everybody on my dad's side was like over there by where you are, like LA and Burbank, Barstow.
Oh, so you had a lot of family in there. Okay. So it wasn't
Yeah,
like completely like just you two and mom and dad and then you and okay. And so how are you
yeah.
in school?
In school, like elementary school, I think it was like my weirdest state. Like elementary school, I just everybody saw me that I like. Oh, they just saw me by the kid with the dad that looked like a grandpa. That was
Oh
all my
shoot.
that was that was all like it just followed me everywhere. But yeah, I had friends though. It was cool. Dude, me llamaban el siete lenguas because I just talked and talked and talked.
Did you get in trouble in
And
class?
yeah, you know that. That's a thing in school. Like all the little kids get in
Did you
trouble
ever
for
get hit?
talking. Um, in elementary school, nah. Luckily, I
No,
didn't. Nah. Um,
because we're the
when
same
I was,
age, so that's like,
yeah.
I think we're around the same age. You look so much younger than I do, but
No, I don't. Are you seeing
yeah.
my hair, dude?
We're not gonna start until the insecurities. um, no, but when I was in elementary, like they, where I grew up in El Estado de Mexico, so
Okay.
they hate you. They hate you. They will borrow
Oh yeah,
somebody. Yeah, they would borrow somebody's belt. And they would hit you in front
yeah.
of everybody.
I know that's
With
crazy.
a
My
big
my
ass
my, my
ruler,
brother would tell me that.
Yeah.
Pon
So
la mano.
yeah. It's like, why am I gonna put the hand and then you will move it? And it would be worse.
The
So
worst.
you didn't go to that then? Yeah, because I got
No,
hit.
no, I didn't. Luckily, I didn't. But I went
Maybe
to
you
school
should have.
here.
You would have straightened
Yeah,
up a
me
little bit.
faltaba más. No, I went to school here, so
Oh,
I would
that's
have gone in
why. Oh,
jail.
you didn't go to
Yeah,
school, TJ.
hell no.
Oh, no wonder. I thought you went to school in TJ.
Well,
Like,
all my
you
friends
would have
did.
straightened out like no other TJ.
Dude, everybody would tell me that, like, dude, like, if you went to teach at a school, like, pinche putiza que te dan,
Uh huh.
like, yeah,
From what?
yeah.
From the friends? No, from the teacher.
The teacher, like, ah, cabrón.
That's funny. So then,
But,
you're growing up, obviously. High school. How's high school?
hold on, there we go. Se me te fue el micrófono.
No, we're good. I can hear you.
Yeah,
We're gonna
but,
we're gonna skip middle school because middle school is just a weird phase for everyone. So we're never
yeah.
gonna go through middle school. But so then, little freshman in high school. What does Nestor look like?
Damn, I look like, damn, I wish I had a picture around here. I had like a, I had like a bowl cut, kind of. It
Oh
was like a,
yeah.
hold on. It wasn't a bowl cut. It was just like long hair, and it was transitioning into a faux hawk
Ingus.
somehow.
Oh God. Yeah.
Bien paisa. But
But you thought you look fly.
I just got by. I got by. But I went to freshman year. I went to like a really like a ricachon high school. Like over here, it's called East Lake, and it's where all like the richer people would live. And my sister just so happened to live there. And by this time, my dad is not crossing the border anymore, so I'm staying over at my sister's house because my dad couldn't take me to school every day,
Hmm.
and the border was getting crazy. So I was staying at my sister's, and I honestly, freshman year did not fit in at all. It was puro rico, and I'm like over here from TJ, and like it's just, and then the Section 8 kids, because there was a Section 8 there, hella ghetto kids, and I'm like, fuck, like ahí sí me, ahí sí me pegó una vez, ahí sí me
Who?
pegaron unos,
Section 8 kids?
los, some hood ass kids, porque I don't even know why, dude, like. They just I was laughing at a picture on a book, and it was something stupid because you know how they draw shit on books.
Yeah.
Le habían puesto como un choricillo a una vieja aquí, you know, like, y el vato, y el vato era pues afroamericano y la foto era en una afroamericana. Era
Oh.
Harriet Tubman, güey. Le habían puesto un chilillo ahí y me estaba riendo, güey. And he was like, "What are you laughing at?" Y me da un pum, me pega y I'm like, "What the fuck?" Le aventé el libro y no, I pissed me off. He was like, "What the hell?" Like, ¿es que tengo
Oh,
la culpa?
Nestor.
So
uh,
that did not help.
that, that was your first day.
Yeah, but luckily, I took it upon my decision to move to my brother's house, which was way more laid back, and I finally went to a school that I fit in that was more
At what
hood
age was
like me.
this?
I was like um sophomore. I was a sophomore.
Oh, so you dip right away. You're like, okay, freshman
Yeah,
year.
yeah. Freshman year, I finished it there and I left
And what high
because
school
I
is
didn't.
this? Your sophomore
This
year.
was Hilltop High until I finished. I didn't really finish, but we'll get into that.
We'll get into that. So Hilltop High?
Yeah, Hilltop High. It's like it's more my style. Not nada rico ni nada. You know, it's mostly like
Oh,
mixed
Section 8.
mixed races. It's like no
Oh,
Section
Section
8.
8 and that one kid from TJ who's Nestor.
But no,
so
this was
so
like
so you say you fit in there. So like what else did you do there?
yeah. I got to know people that skated, and I started skating
Oh, so
sophomore year, and then
skating became your thing.
yeah, skating was my thing, and then I don't know, I me la pasé bien suave. Like I had a lot of good friends that I still talk to some of them, but there's some that I don't because you grow apart. You don't stay with the people that you're in school with.
Well, when you're in high school, you think you're gonna stay
Yeah,
friends
you think
forever.
you're like,
That one girl that you
vamos a ver
like, she's gonna
si.
be the one forever. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like just
Hmm.
you get to learn. Eventually once they're out, everybody starts their own life. But high school, I liked it. Me fue bien. Like it was from all the previous schooling that I had. Like the last 3 years of my high school were like the ones that kind of I found myself. Like
Was there a specific subject or teacher that you liked, or nah, it wasn't nothing related with school? It was just you liked the school
last
because of
school.
the social part.
Yeah, yeah. I no le puse muchas ganas a la escuela because
Says it just let's put it out there.
no, honestly, when I went in, like I liked it. Like math was my shit. Like ni se diga. But other than that, like English and like history, I don't know. I think it was just teachers or something. But I've always failed them, and I had to go to summer school and make it up.
Summer school's
And
fun though.
yeah, I liked it. I liked taking the bus to school, and it was like
It
it
was
was
half
sick.
day, then after that, try to desmadre with everybody else who
Yeah,
felt or didn't pass their
todos
classes. Yeah.
todos los estupidines iguales que yo.
Very, very few kids would go and because I didn't fail the class, because even if they
Yeah,
went to advance, like I wasn't gonna be in the advanced one. Like I'm there for a reason.
yeah. I'm gonna
Like,
go chill. I'm gonna
well,
work in the library.
I couldn't advance during the school year. Think I'm gonna advance over the summer? You know what I mean? Uh,
I know,
okay.
like why?
It's
But
funny though
yeah,
because like you built a badass car, and so like I see that I've
it's
had so many
not,
conversations with
man.
people. No, hold on. You don't give yourself too much credit, but that thing is amazing. And so what I see that like people don't like school, like the academic school, you would say, but they're great with their hands and they're great at building things. And like
The,
the
the
wiring.
Mexicans.
Well, I don't know about that because I'm Mexican. I don't know shit. I'm like, I don't know, something did not get introduced into me. I got the eating part of Mexican. I eat good, but I cannot build anything.
You
And
got the drive.
yeah,
Yeah,
I got the
you got
drive.
the.
Yeah, I'll give you that, but I cannot build anything. Um, so when do cars start kind of creeping into Nestor's little head?
Well, ever since I was a little kid, ever since I was like 8, my dad let me drive the truck, and actually since I was a baby, there's pictures of me being a baby, like barely walking and washing my dad's truck. Like the typical thing. You start in like washing the truck, and now my brother, like since he's a lot older than me, he's kind of like one of the people that was like didn't start the lowrider scene over here, but he was like with it. Like he would paint like everybody's cars. Like he was like 15 painting cars,
Ooh.
after school. So he was kind of known for that. So as I was growing up, I would notice my brother.
Mhm.
He had a little hopper going on. Like he was like, "Oh, this is my new project. I'm painting it." And I'm like, he's like, "You want to get in?" Like I remember this clearly. He had like a S10 little short, like a tiny truck, the Chevys,
Mhm.
and it was green with a camper. Had like 12 batteries on the back, and he's like, "Súbete," and I and I get in, and all I hear is like, and that
Ooh.
thing fucking lifted, and I tripped out, and I got out of the car, and I started
Start
crying.
crying.
Yeah,
Shit, loser. No wonder you're always by yourself. Hey, fool, is that your brother? Nah, that's not my brother. Some
bro,
random little kid.
pinche niño tontillo que no sabe de carro. But I liked it though, like me gustaba verlos, pero once I
That's
started
crazy
making
that
that
you still
noise,
remember that. Yeah, well, it sounds very violent. It's like the switch hits, and then it's like the time the line extends, and it's just like what's going on, and then the harshness of it when it
yeah,
hops. It's
the
like
chains and
this is not supposed to be doing this. Um,
it
I can
was
only
just
imagine.
it was just crazy to see, I guess, and that kind of like me traumé, like it was like, oh wait, get me the fuck out of here.
But from there,
But
from there, that's where. So you were
that,
around it, yeah.
yeah, and then when I started living with my brother, he had his shop, and I would go to him all like as soon as I left school until like 12 o'clock at night, working like sanding cars and
Oh, that's
just prepping it for
cool.
him to pay for paint. So honestly, it was cool at the beginning because I'm like, dude, I'm working with cars, this is sick. But then it started turning into like a job, like a task. And I get it, like I'm living with him and he's like providing for me, but I'm like, like I was always broke. Never, I didn't have a car in high school. I always like me sentía mal pidiéndole dinero
Hmm.
because I'll be like, I'm living with him, he's taking care of me, but like at the same time, I'm over here making him money to like paint cars and like working construction and things. So it kind of sucked.
It's a hard balance. Yeah, it's definitely a hard balance.
Yeah. So and throughout this time, my dad passes away when I'm like in junior year.
Mm.
So it's kind of like, fuck, I gotta take care of my mom now. She's stuck in TJ, so I need to start like financially trying to make something.
Hmm.
Luckily, the government gave me money for being under 18 and not having a parent. So with that money, I would give my mom so she can pay the rent and you know, in one way provide for her. And
Hmm. Help
then
her out. Hmm.
at the same time, I wanted to have something, because
Yeah,
I didn't get paid, and I would buy me like some shoes or something,
because we forget you're
or
also a teenager. You're still going to a
yeah,
high school. Like there's people, with advantages. Rocking these shoes, clothes, music still exists, sports exist, cars exist, media
yeah,
exists, and so like you're still a high schooler. Like you still want things.
yeah. I never had anything until like I truly had to work for it. Even when I was a little kid, my dad was like, "¿Quieres esa bicicleta?" They're like $80 Walmart bike. It took me like 2 years with to get that bike, but like it makes me appreciate what I work for in a way. At the beginning, de una niñez, then empezando de niño, it kind of makes me appreciate more things that I work for. Ahorita I'm lazy as fuck, but like it took me a while to get here. Like,
But yeah,
but
2 years for $80 bike. I definitely do have similar experiences like that, man. You appreciate
you
things.
you also wanted a bike and you couldn't get it.
I've never. Let me see. I, you
A mí
know.
me dieron todo.
Oh no, 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 no. Shoot, man. I think I've never. I'm trying to think. Have I ever got a brand new bike? No, man. We had bikes. I grew up with my two brothers, but when one of them came here, I was with my other brother, with my grandma in Mexico. But we
Mhm.
always had used bikes, dude. Like we would repair, like we would have bikes with different tire sizes and different, rims, and missing spokes. What we would do, we just take out the spoke. We're not gonna change.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think you had it, but we had like what we call zapateros, and they would come and fix our shoes. They would put a new, bottom
I
piece.
lived in TJ.
So I mean, but did you use them? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you're able to get like hand me downs from family members that are still really good hand me downs. We didn't really have that. So a
Yeah, I
bike,
never had hand me down.
yeah, that for us, that's always been like, especially me, since I was the youngest. Once my oldest brother was done with it, then was the middle one. Then the middle one was done. It was me. Pinches calzones todos rotos. It was my turn. Nah, 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 it wasn't like that. Not that bad. No, but yeah, I get you.
Seguro. But yeah,
Seguro.
like it.
So then,
But yeah,
the bike, right? Okay, that teaches you appreciation for things. That's a good thing.
yeah, yeah. Like it was all thanks to my dad. Like honestly, like I know sometimes my brother like he takes credit for it. That like he's like he raised me, but he was always only there for like 4 years max. And throughout my whole life, I think my dad raised me with like good values and like kind of how to appreciate things. Because I don't know, si soy medio mamoncillo, cagapalos igual que tú, pero like I know
Not as much.
like that is my yo sí me siento, yo sí lloro.
uh,
But yeah, like you do appreciate things, and I think it after after not after him passing away, like I think I held on to that, like, and that's why I didn't really care about school because it was more I was kind of worried about my mom
mhm.
and I kind of want to do my own thing, and I could never do my own thing. So after high school, like I'm glad like I got out and I got my job.
What was your
I'm
first
out.
job?
My first official job I still have right now. I
Really?
work at yeah,
Hooters?
I work chip and lips and lips. I work at lips. You know what that is?
No,
Oh, you don't have a lips up there?
not fool. We're not ghetto.
No, dude. Lips is actually a nice. I've never been there, but it's like
You've never been there. What
it's
is
like
it?
a it's cross dressers. It's like a dinner, and then there's a cross dressers, and they perform and stuff like Shakira, Pinche Thalia, kind of shit. Like
No, never been there. You've been
we
there.
should go. I want to go.
Well, the last video you sent me, that was
Hey.
super questionable. I have too many questions, but we'll get into that right now. I showed it to my wife too. She was like, "What am I looking at?" I'm like, "That's Nestor."
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
my friend did that, man.
well, yeah, your friend.
I don't
So,
edit that good.
uh, well, you definitely know how to dance. I run a pole that good, and we'll leave it at that. So sad. Um.
Sad.
So then, when do you buy your first car?
All right.
And what is it?
So my first car, that's when I started working at Costco, and I still live with my brother. I was looking. I don't know, dude. I would ever since I was in high school, I read like Honda Tech, NWP for life. All the, like the Team Integra, all those forums, and I would just learn about cars, and I was just learning about like building engines and like because I wanted to. Once I got a car, I wanted to know what the hell to do. So I didn't put effort into school, but I definitely put effort into Honda Tech.
You read there. You
Yeah, I
built
definitely
read
read.
and magazines.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So yeah, so I was like, dude, I really like an ES sedan. Like, I
Mm.
really want one. And I was like, I already had a vision for it. Like lowered, good fitment, but and eventually I found one. My brother was like, hey, my friend has a friend that has a Civic. You want to go check it out? So I go check it out, and the guy wanted like 1,500. It had a D16 like Y8. It was like a Frankenstein, and it definitely was not running. I think it was running like on a stock ECU from '89. Oh, it was '91, but it was just Mickey Mouse, dude. Like the whole
Mhm.
shift linkage was a little tweaked. It was just chicanada, like chicanada. Like he just got a crash Civic, and I was like, I'm gonna put this engine and transmission in this shit. So I drove that.
You bought it.
Two, I bought it. I bought it. I was like, I want this thing.
I thought the
And
story was gonna be like, no, we walked away from it.
hell no. I
So
was
you
like, I need a car.
1,500.
No, I got it for 11, and I didn't know how to drive stick.
Ooh, so how did you get it home? Your brother?
No, I drove it, and I drove it, and he's like, just fucking put it in fifth, and once you're in fifth, you're good. And I was scared that fifth was gonna be reversed, so I left it in fourth. So I just I drove like 40 miles in fourth,
So you
but I was going
definitely,
really slow.
yeah, you definitely
I was
didn't
going,
know how to drive stick. Uh-huh.
yeah, I was just scared on that fifth because the thing was already sketchy,
Did you
but it was
stall on the way
so
home?
clean. Yeah, I did.
Nice.
The car was super clean. Like I wish I had pictures of it, but so eventually I got it home. It was fine. I checked the oil; it was good. The coolant, it was just they used water. And then the next day I drive it. I was like, I'm gonna take this to work. The thing blows up, gives rod knock. And I'm like, what the fuck? I told that guy, he's like, yo no sé, ¿por qué le pasó eso? I'm like, I definitely did not rev it. Cause I know I was driving it in fourth, but I was going like 50 miles an hour, like super slow on the freeway. And but it blew up, dude. And I was like, what am I gonna do?
Hmm.
So I go on Craigslist. I find a D16 Z6 for like $300, and it came with a tranny and like some mounts or something. Oh, and the ECU. And I took it to my mechanic at that time. He was a cool dude, and he slapped it on. He's like, "Yo, hice una chicanada, pero sí sirve." And I was like,
Oh
"Arre."
God.
So, dude, that thing lasted me like another 4 years
From
until
that.
yeah, it was like the shitty tune and everything. I went through like three transmissions.
Oh shoot! Why
They
not
were
get rid of it?
because I was broke. I didn't have money. I had to like be taking care of my mom, and then I was trying to get out of my brother's house, and then all the things that I couldn't buy when I was in high school, I was buying it. You know, like I was buying all my the colognes that I could never have, or like the shoes and
Mm-hmm.
pants. You know, splurging. But eventually, the car died, man. The car. I went through another tranny. I put it in, and I didn't really know much about D16s, so they was. I'm pretty sure I put a like a CRX SI tranny on a newer D16 C6, so it was kind of like not. It wasn't working too good. It had like a makeshift clutch too. Dude, it was horrible.
Chicanela, as you call it.
And but then eventually I found an Integra. There was a
So
coupe,
how old are you at this time?
um, like 22, like 22,
Man, you're still pretty
like
young. 4 years with
22, 20.
the
Yeah,
EF, and now you're like 22, 23.
yeah. And so go on Craigslist, had 3 grand. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy. My girl
Three
found it for me.
grand.
Three
Damn.
grand. Woo! And it was an Integra. Looked good in pictures. And sadly, to everybody that's watching this, do not look at a car at night. I'm pretty sure everybody knows. Do not look at a car at night. Uh,
Let me
but the car
guess.
looked good.
You went to watch a car at night. You went
I
to check it
went
out.
to. I checked it out and I had my light and I was scoping it out and it looked good. It
At my
just
light.
I had my light and everything. So the car had a V18 V1, but the tranny it said S4C, so that's a V16 tranny. But it just something about it wasn't V16 about it. So I was like, I drove it. I was like, I love this thing. It had a little bit of gas too. I was like, fuck. So it was slammed. It had rotas, some rota Mugans. They were like the MF10s,
Hmm.
and they were these get gold, but each one was like a different shade of gold.
They
Um,
painted it a different day.
each one was like, deja los 5 días en el sol, like, and it had a nice Megan Racing exhaust, Megan Racing coilovers, and a stock ass engine. The interior it was like painted black. It was tan, but it was painted black. So you could only imagine how it would start peeling after a while. And so eventually I started like driving it, and the car was fine, dude. I came to later, learn that it was a B16 tranny, but it had LS fifth and like a GSR fourth or something. Like it had like it was really like it was right now that thing's like $1,500 tranny, but that was a pretty dope tranny, dude. And it looked like someone really liked it because they tried to save it because the casing had a big old hole in it, and they JB welded it with like the pieces back in. But
Wow.
it was the best transmission I ever had to this day.
And how long did
But
that car last?
so I got the green one like almost 5 years ago. So it was like a solid 3 years. It lasted like a solid 3 years,
I'm
and
assuming it broke down here and there, right?
never broke down on me. Never broke down on me. The
So,
EF broke down on me, but this one never broke down
well,
on
the
me.
EF is the one that taught you all your mechanic skills. I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, dude, it never broke down on me. It started smoking,
Hmm.
and I was like, you know what? I want to slap a B20 in it, and I put a B20 in it, and I bought an ECU off of eBay. It was already chipped, like those pre-made tunes, and it ripped, dude. That thing ripped. It had like a, an XTD stage 3 clutch. That thing ripped. But yeah, that was a good car, dude. I have pictures of it. I have like videos of it, like racing or whatever. But that thing was sick. It taught me a lot.
What happened
And
to it?
I took parts off of it. I sold the wheels, the coilovers. When I bought the green one, I put them on the green one.
Chill.
Um, and then I took a whole bunch of stuff off of it. And eventually, I just sold it for $700 to some dude from Rosarito. That who came up. It was running. He took it running.
So did you just like you got bored of it? You didn't want to do it? deal with it and you just got rid of it?
I wish I kept it, but since I lived in a place that didn't have parking and I had to park in the street, two Integras in the street was not gonna cut it for me. So,
So
so
you had
luckily,
that Integra, and then you started getting the itch to get a different Integra,
yeah,
and obviously room and so
yeah.
okay, gotcha.
So I see. I sold the black one, kind of rushed to sell. I wish I didn't. I wish I still had it right now,
You're so
but I
rushed
fucked it.
by the other one then. So then,
I already had that one.
but what was the mental like process? I guess I'm gonna buy a different Integra for at the time before you even thought about selling the black one. Were you thinking like the black is gonna be the daily because it's so reliable, and the other one's gonna go race car, or like you just wanted a different Integra? What was the thought process?
I think I just really wanted a sedan. I always liked sedans.
The other one was
Like
a coupe.
the other one was a coupe, yeah.
Okay.
And I just really wanted a sedan. I just wanted to start something like fresh and something like just a solid build, not something that was salvaged and had like 30 other owners. Like the black Integra that I had. So I looked, dude. I looked for like a year of like I need to find a sedan. It was
So
before OfferUp.
sedan and clean title.
Mhm. Yeah,
And then what, fifth or sixth gen, or what was the, or like anything Integra, or specifically like the DC world, or what?
I wanted a DB1, but I don't know, like the sedan, the newer one of the like 98 to 2001. I don't know, I really liked it because the front end, but I don't know, I was between both the DB1 and a DB7 or DB8, but nah, I found the green one, um, and I was like, I want that one. That's the one I'm gonna want because I I saw a couple before and
Same generation.
it just yeah, like a 90. It was like a 98,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't cutting it. They wanted like 4 grand, and I was like, nah, not much. You know, it was
But
nice
I'm
though.
sure they were clean though.
Yeah, they were clean. They were really clean. It was a GSR too, and
See, now like with the prices where they're going, you're like, damn, 4K was a good deal.
yeah,
But it was expensive at the time, yeah.
yeah, yeah, because I was broke and I was like, I want another car and I'm broke. So like I got 2 grand to play with. So like let's see what I can do, you know?
And
So I
you
was
weren't
like,
even thinking GSR, you just wanted a sedan.
yeah, I just
A
wanted a
base model
sedan or
LS would have been fine, no problem.
anything.
But clean
And
and
as long as it's clean. And I had a whole bunch of parts. I had a clutch, I had like a radiator. For the other one, it was just a replacement like radiator. It wasn't like anything fancy. It's just like replacement parts. And so eventually I was on Craigslist and then I found the one I have right now, like this green sedan, and it said original owner, had like 15 pictures, and I saw the post. You know how you scroll all the way down and it tells you when it was posted, and it was posted like an hour ago, and I was like, I gotta hop on it. I was in the bathroom. I was like in the the
at
bathroom
work.
at work, and I was like, I sent him a message like, hey, I know this is out of the blue, but I really want your car. I don't need to see it. I just want it. Like I just want to I want to get your car before anybody else gets it. He's like, you're lucky that you're the first one. Um, he's like, are you sure you don't want to come and see it? I'm like, no, like I think with what I saw in the pictures, I'm okay with that. Like I already, my ilusiones already, like that's what I want.
So before you continue, Nestor shows up, gets a EF sedan or Yankee, buys it, goes checks out the next Integra at night. Oh, Yankee buys it. Now let me go buy a car based on the pictures. You're like, I'm gonna pay whatever you tell, But that was good though. You really wanted the car. I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah, I just just those deals that you can't miss. And I was looking on LA Craigslist, Los Angeles Craigslist. So those are the things you gotta hop on.
Mm-hmm.
Because over here you get a chance, like I'm gonna go look at it real quick. But it was in LA, and I was like, fuck, it's out of the blue. But the guy wanted $2,100, so
Was that bad or good?
it was fair. It was a good price. It was for sure he was Kelly Blue booking it, and but I called him, and then like I want to go get it. I'm gonna go get a trailer tonight, and tomorrow I'll go pick it up with my friend. Shout out to Tony Baloney. Uh, he helped me fucking get that car. But I told the guy like I'm gonna go get it and just let me know when. He's like, well, I'm gonna be available tomorrow. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go get it. And as I'm driving up there, he's telling me, he's like, oh, I forgot to tell you
Oh
that
boy.
the radiator is leaking and it won't pass smog. And I'm like, I don't care.
Okay.
I'm already gonna tow it. Like smog, you can pay for it. Um, and the radiator, I already have one. I already have one at home. So he said it was starting to like overheat, and I was like, it's a broken radiator. Probably doesn't have any coolant. So when I get there, the guy lives in some townhouses, and he told me, oh, go drive through here. They're really nice townhouses. And I see the car from far away. It's in the garage. I was like, damn, that thing has been in a
Ooh.
garage. And he has a big old packet of paper,
Service records.
all the service records from like Sears, from like the tires from Sears, the dealer.
That's what you want.
Um, and I'm like, hell yeah. I was like, that's like the cherry on
Cherry
top
on
for
top.
me.
Hmm.
And
It's so
I'm looking
weird
at
that yeah, I get it.
like those records, I want the paperwork.
Happened with
Sácalo pa-
Rosie. Yeah, he freaking just pulled a boom, and I was like, all right, I'm taking
Yeah,
the car, dude. Yeah, I'll take the car.
that's that's
I
all
don't
it
need to see
takes.
it. Something's gonna break, but I'll fix it. But I'm taking the car just because of that. Like, who does that? Nobody does that. Nobody takes care of the service records.
No, I don't think anybody does anymore. Or probably,
Responsible people, not like you and I.
yeah. I
we
actually still
seek
have
we seek those people that are responsible. Then we take their cars, destroy them, and then we will look for someone else who does that.
exactly.
So you check it out. Was the garage kept, or he just put it there just to kind
No,
of?
it was garage kept all its life, and the only time it saw sun was at his work. And older white guy, and he had a kid. So the car had like some stains in the back. Like it still does, like Crayola stains. I couldn't even get out. Like, but I still haven't washed the carpet.
Since
It's
then.
gross. Since then, it's still
Okay.
pretty gross.
Okay.
But um, yeah, the car was super clean, dude. Like he had just buffed it, and you can still see all the splatter, all over the place. The car turned on, and it just sounded nice, like it just sounded like fresh off the lot, but it was a little smoky, and it smelled like the smell of a bad cat, like
Mm-hmm.
it just all the emissions were just it smelled like fumes. Um, but honestly, it was really clean, and it had like the door dings that it still does. It has door dings. It had like a little side swipe on the side that you can barely see it, but the door is kind of like a little wavy. But other than that, like the car, like it was my dream car. Especially it was green and tan interior. It was just
Nobody says
it
that. You
was.
know that, right? You're like the
I
only
know
weirdo that says that.
it's because green. Like when I saw that car, I'd never seen a green like that in good shape. It's all sun faded all the time or repainted,
Mm-hmm.
and the car has like I'm pretty sure it has like one spot repainted, like a bumper. Like it looks like it's such a paint, but other than that, it's all matching bins and everything.
Beautiful.
And the guy was really cool. I was like, "Hey, you want pictures of the car? As
You're
what I'm doing to
weirdo.
it." And he's
Then you
like,
realize, but you didn't have friends growing up. You're so weird. It's like, no, I don't want pictures.
he kind of was like, "Fuck, should I?" But like, no, it's okay. He's like, and he kind of like was like, "Yeah, I kind of want to see my baby, like in the future." But like, nah, like he
No.
was telling me how people would give him crap about him still driving that old car, que no sé qué, pero si supiera que eso era mi mayor deseo.
I think he could
But
sense it. You were willing to pay for the
mm,
car without me checking it out. He
I
knew.
know, we're not checking it out. So
Well, I
and
think.
eventually,
Go ahead.
oh, I talked him down to $1,700.
You still freaking talked to. Oh, that's a fucking. Oh, the TJ boy,
17.
the TJ boy in you came out
I
still.
was like, ooh,
So did you drive it
fuck
back or
this.
you towed it?
No, I had to tow it because I already had my friend's um trailer and his truck, so I was like, might as well just take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it had bad axles, Had a
But
bad
that's
axle
an old
too,
car. Like, yeah, those things get, yeah, those are just normal maintenance. They break down.
and
So,
the clutch was the original clutch too.
how many miles did the car have?
The car had 160,000 miles or 150, somewhere around there.
He took
I
care of
could
it.
I'll check the paperwork. Yeah,
He
it
took
has
care of it.
200. Has a 200,000 miles now.
Wow. You've been driving
And
it.
I drive the shit out of it.
Well, this should be. Which,
I have some.
yeah, that's a whole different conversation that you know, it's nice to have a car that is like mint looking, but if you don't drive it, then defeats the
Nah, you
purpose.
gotta. Yeah, you gotta drive it. You gotta drive it like you stole it.
Okay,
Bueno, no tanto.
not
No,
tanto.
no tanto. Pero sí, hay que meterle la chancla. You know what I mean?
So you already knew you were gonna swap it, right?
Yeah, I already had like plans. Like I didn't have anything, but like I know my plans. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna put a VTEC swap on it. Like it's either gonna go LS VTEC or I was gonna go F20, F20B.
Nice.
Um, and you know that blue top, and I was gonna go F2B, and because I was like, it was cheap. Like the F series was like $700,
Slept on, yeah.
and but now it's like an arm and a leg. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. But then I was like, oh, it's gonna be too expensive because then I gotta regasket everything, and then I gotta, maybe change the head gasket and stuff. Like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna LSD take it. So I found a head on OfferUp for $350, and it was complete dizzy manifold. Yes, the way you see it right now, that's how I got it. Well, well, not really.
Close to it. You added your touch.
I put the breathers in,
Hmm.
the catch can stuff, but
But 350 is pretty good.
yeah, I got it for 350, and then I started buying like the valve guides, the bronze valve guides, the valve stem seals, the LMAs, um, all the little things that kind of wear out. Um, I didn't change the valve train or anything, so it's still like stock valves, stock valve springs. But everything else, like supporting that, like I changed it. Um, and then once I got it back, I just had it chilling there on the side for like the longest time, for like a couple months, because I just didn't have any. I didn't have everything. I still needed stuff. Like I needed the Honda. Like I was gonna, if I wanted to do it, I wanted to do everything at once. Have everything
Hmm.
ready. So I had all like the LSV tech kit, the Honda, the fuel line, the just so it looked neat. And eventually, like 5 months later, I was like, you know what? I have everything. I'm gonna do it.
Hmm.
So I took the LS head off, and then the block. I cleaned it because it was kind of like it had like residue in the top of the cylinder. So I cleaned everything, and then I just made everything clean, and then I put the head gasket on, and then ARP head bolts or head studs, and I put the head on, and I was like, that's it. Like I think I'm done. And I torqued everything down, and then I still didn't turn it on. I had to like do the AN lines. Like I gotta do the AN line. I had to do the breather. So I did that. Had it done, and
And
there's
all
a
of
lot of
this,
little things.
are you learning from forums or you're asking friends? Because it's difficult to do when you don't, or you just had that much experience that you're like, I felt comfortable doing it.
I just honestly I never tear down an engine, but I already felt like I already done it before. You know what I mean? Like
Came
because
natural.
like I said, like I just already had experience from Honda Tech. From learning everything I learned was from Honda Tech, and I just I just gotta put it like as
Hmm.
you take it off. The only thing I gotta learn how to do is put it back on in a sequence and torque it down. Like that's there's like little tricks and trinkets that you have to do.
Hmm.
But I already had it down before I even did it, and then working with my brother in cars and everything, so it kind of like made it a lot easier. Um, but yeah, like the as soon as I had everything in, like the battery, like how the battery, you seen the battery right now? That's how I was had it since as soon as I LSV teched it, like that's how the setup has been um till now.
Hmm.
Um, and I just bought little clips and here and there for like the hoses, the little OEM clips that break all the time. I bought all those. So I try to put everything OEM, back to OEM as possible. And then the first time I turned it on, I asked for my girl's laptop. She had a laptop back then. That
Uh, what happened? We'll pause. We'll pause.
so yeah, my girl had this laptop and I downloaded Hondata and I was like, I'm gonna load up this map real quick. It was a Type R map,
Mm-hmm.
and I loaded it up and that thing cranked like first start. I was like, what the hell? Like it's like I was so stoked that it turned on. It was like, damn. So I drove it like that for like a couple days, and then I had the local tuner that's like Darden, had him tune it. So it made on the original motor that had like kind of like bad rings. Um, it did 165 and like 130 something torque. I was
So
like, damn, that
fast.
shit good.
Yeah.
That shit was good. And then, dude, like that, me like stepping on it was like the craziest thing ever. It was just like I like every time I drove it was like, damn, I built this shit. Like I built this. Like
That's
that's
crazy.
crazy. And then I drove it like that for a long time. I hit the canyons, and it was sick. It was burning a lot of oil. Like it was just taking a quart like every week. I was like, nah, I can't do this. But then in that time, I bought the spoon exhaust. I bought. I had already bought the wheels. I had two sets of the 57 CRs because JHP had that Black Friday deal like a long time ago. So
So you're
I
like,
had
let's do
to
it.
do it. I had to buy. I bought some, and then
Mm-hmm.
I took another set that I don't think anybody's seen, to my girl's dad to mount them the tires,
Mm-hmm.
and he scratched the shit out of them, and I was so sad. Yeah, I was
Those are
so
getting some.
sad.
Those are getting some work done right now.
Yeah, they're getting work done. They're
I
getting
can't wait for the
polished.
hate that you're gonna get once you put those on. It's gonna be
Dude, the guy is lagging like
the
bad.
only thing you can do is save it by a good fitment. If you have those wheels, the way you're gonna go about them with poor fitment, it's over.
No, I,
I'm gonna
I already
block you
got.
from Instagram. I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna follow you. I don't know that guy. I'm gonna erase the interview. I'm gonna erase
Damn.
this podcast. Everything.
Oh, we got a.
Oh, King Louis.
Uh,
Oh,
okay. But
okay.
yeah, I got they're getting polished, but I got tires for them. They're 225, 45, 15, so they're gonna be a lot
Sick.
meatier. So I'm going for that meaty fitment.
Hell yeah! Welcome to the meaty club. That's good. Rubbing,
Whatever.
rubbing
Yeah.
half block. When does the boosted life kind of get introduced to it?
So I had the car for like a year more, driving an LSB Tech, and then my cousin Boosties moves in, and he has a 240 like a K8 turbo. And the thing is, when he brings it here, it's not even built yet. But he's always talking like, hey, you should boost it, you should boost it. And I already had the idea of supercharging it. Like
Ooh.
I wanted to supercharge it. I wanted to get a Jackson Racing supercharger, but we all know how expensive and rare those are.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do that with like the LHT cooler on it. It's like some company in Florida that puts like
Mm-hmm.
intercoolers on those Jackson Racing superchargers. And I wanted to do that whole thing. I was gonna ball out, on that. But he was like, nah, you should boost it. You could raise the boost. And I was like,
He has like the
up the
worst
boost.
connection.
And yeah, dude, I have the worst connection. I have hella bars on my
So
internet.
maybe it's me then.
Yeah, it says that you're right there. It says you have 2 bars.
I pay my
But,
bills. So then you get convinced by your cousin to go turbo.
yeah, and I'm like, I've been having an eye on this company, Go Auto Works, for the longest time. Like even like back in the Honda Tech days,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I found out about the catch can that I have right now, or the breather tank or whatever it's called. And they already had the mentality, like in the future I'm gonna use this, I want to use that. Like like I already kind of I set my bar up kind of high, and I couldn't reach it. Like seeing feria, like como
Yeah.
voy a hacer eso? But I saved up, and luckily I work for a good company, so I can take out money from my 401k. Well,
All the,
I gotta,
all the irresponsible things you have to do to get a turbo.
yeah, I gotta pull out money from my 401k. And then
Asking
I
for a
was like,
payment in advance. Hey, boss, can you give me an advance? I got this
yeah, por
turbo set
favor.
up. I need the wastegate. What?
Oh,
So what do you think? Once you go boost, you never go back to NA?
no, I want to go back in A. Honestly, I'm already over it.
Get out of
I want
here.
to have, yeah,
Yes.
it's cool and all, but like the car runs hot. Like my car gets hot when I turn on the AC. Like obviously I gotta like move some things around, but I think it's pretty much solid and it still gets warm. So I'm kind of over it. But okay, so I save up money and then I buy that turbo kit and it sits for like 8 months. And I just chilling there in a big ass box. And I'm like, I want to put this on, but I need things. I need to get some things going on.
Mhm.
I need a new clutch. Like I need a new block because my original block is already, about to blow the rings out. So I find a block on off road for $350, and they already came with ARP rod bolts, and I was like, I'm set. So that's what I was waiting for, like someone to have a rebuilt block. And luckily, like the dude was pretty cool, and yeah, I bought it for $350. And once I got that, it was all systems go. I took the head apart, I cleaned it, and I cleaned a lot of things. I took the whole engine out from the bottom, and then pressure washed the engine bay, got all the grease from like the oil that would spill, everything. Years and years of grudge. Like I took it off, and then I started building the motor on the side, and then the car's just sitting in the garage, and like every day I do one little thing, like one little thing at a time. De algo a nada. So eventually I completed. I was like, you know what? It's time to fucking put this thing in. So I put it in, and then I started up, but the homies were here, and I was like, sick. It turned on. I was so hyped, and I started putting it together and fixing things here and there, and then it's still running to this day. And I took the bolt problem, that pissed me off, but I figured it out, and all the bolts are good. I just got to keep an eye on them every once in a while,
They back
because
out.
they back out no matter what. And just recently, I got my exhaust done, so I think the car is good as it sits right now for a while.
Mhm.
And yeah, I drive the crap out of it.
As you should. I mean,
Mhm.
I think that's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, are you one of those, personalities that get upset if you get a little scratch on your car? Or you like, obviously you get upset, but you get over it? Or are you like the ones that kind of like really, think about
See,
it? You have to fix it. Otherwise, it's like, ah.
luckily, I haven't had really any issues of like people hitting me. Actually, una doña me pegó in the McDonald's drive-through. She hit my rear bumper, but it was fine. I
It was
get it.
slow.
Yeah, it was slow, but I should have I should have taxed her like $300, huh? Yeah,
You were nice and you said, oh, it's
that
okay.
was nice. I was hungry. I was like, I need to get out of here.
Oh, that could have bought
But
you,
yeah,
could have bought you a half a turbo.
I mean, like, that lady's gonna pay for my McDouble.
You know what? Make it large. So then, now that you've been around, because you seem to know a lot of people, for someone who in the car community, like, oh yeah, I don't know anybody. Like then I see you like hanging out with some pretty popular people, especially in San
I,
Diego.
I don't
Um,
know, dude.
I don't know. They know you though. They know you. They're like, oh, we know Nestor.
That's fun. That's crazy. Like honestly, that to me, that really means a lot to me because I don't know. They know me for something that I built, for something that I put my kind of like my life into it. Like it's something that it's my dream to build. Even the tan interior.
Ugh, I got
But
the chills just when you said that. Ugh, can't rock that,
but
man. I'm too dirty of a person. Hmm.
but yeah, to people to like really appreciate what I did, it was kind of like it really means a lot. Like when someone tells me something, hey, like nice car, I'm like, I tell you, like, I really appreciate it. Like that really means a lot. Like I'm not, I'm not BSing, I'm not capping. I'm being for real. Like it actually, like, it kind of like hasta me. I was like, like.
Get it out of the way. Damn. And the positive comments. So that means that when somebody says something negative, you also take it to heart then.
No, sí, que se dan los chingazos, vato.
Huevo. Solito campeón. Well, we'll see. Get ready for it because those polished wheels are definitely gonna.
I know.
Gonna.
It's all right.
The thing is, look, if someone in Japan does it, oh, sick,
Yeah.
innovative, new, wow, widow, think outside the box. If Nestor does it, riser,
Está bien,
like,
güey.
yeah, that's how it goes. Speaking of that, so you say, growing up, you obviously kind of kept to yourself. High school, you kind of kept to yourself. How has the car community been for you in general? How did you see it? How, being in San Diego, the first time I saw you, I saw your car. I didn't know it was your car. I didn't know anything about it. Was the Chronicles Cars and Coffee, and then I think through Instagram, that's where
Yeah.
I found it, and then that's when I was on that Enjoy Life Drive Slow Cars and Coffee, and I saw it and completely butcher your Instagram, but I was close to
Yeah.
it.
That was funny.
How's the car community been for you? How do you see it?
Honestly, like I wish here in San Diego there was more meets like there is over there. Definitely there's a lot more meets over there that's more quality, related. Like over here, I'm pretty sure it's over there, like over there too. There's like the clout chasers that are just trying to do burnouts and two steps and so there's a time and place for that. Like with the homies, you gotta stop, like you do something, like you're trying to burn out the spot. Like it's not cool, and there's a lot of like takeovers going on. It's really messing me. I mean, clearly messed me up because I got mistaken for one. And but yeah, dude, like when it comes to like the Honda community and like all the people that I've met through Instagram, they've been really cool. Like it's been like all positive, honestly. Like the people helping each other, and like the a friend, like a buddy of mine that I met on Instagram, his name is Attack GSR. Like he gave me like some washers from G Development, and I was like, what? Like really? Like you're gonna give them to me? He's like, yeah, dude. Like you just take them. I have a whole bunch. I was like, what? All right, like thanks, man. Like that's crazy. Like I really appreciate it. And that was a really cool gesture from him.
You remember
And
those? Yeah.
yeah, and I try to do the same. Like if somebody needs something, I give them, like if you're far away, I'll give you my opinion or my input on whatever you're asking me. But if you're close and you need a part that I have, like go for it. And someone that knows about that is Ivan. I'm always giving him shit. He's always like, "Where you gonna sell that? Let me get that." You'll get to know him, bro. You'll get to know him.
So then Nestor's, that's why they like you, because you give out a lot of free stuff. Hey Nestor, I need a
Yeah.
turbo for my Accord.
Nah, tampoco, no mames.
I'm gonna hit you up, be like, hey. So I mean, obviously in everything there's always gonna be good and there's always gonna be bad. Um it I think you throw me off as someone who's constantly seeking positive energy, positive crowd. Um I mean, at this moment, based on all that like, do you continue plan to build the Integra? Are you kind of over it? Are you want to build something else? Anything like that?
Um, I always say that my Integra is like my forever car. I think I'm gonna keep it for like as long as I can. Um, it might change. The turbo might come off, but I'm gonna try to keep it as clean as stock related as possible, like full interior. I really like trinkets that like are hard to find, and sadly, there's not that much stuff for this body. So like the only things that I could be getting is like the lip, that the first molding lip that's like kind of like unique.
Mm-hmm.
The ICB first molding hood, like that's kind of unique to it, to like specific to that body. It's just like Japanese made things that are made for like the USDM market. That's kind of my theme right now,
Mm-hmm.
because there's not much JDM like things for it, as it because it's a USDM model. If I went JDM front, then you know Jay's
Everything,
Racing fenders and like all
everything
that.
fits.
Yeah.
But you're one of the very
So
few that like the bug eyes.
yeah, yeah. I try
That's
to
good.
keep it alive.
Bug eyes
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Look at this.
It doesn't
This
look
is
as
like
good.
a
It doesn't look good as it does not look as good as the J front end. But
nah.
no, I like it. I like the bug eye. I do.
But honestly, I like it too. So I don't think I'll ever go JDM front unless the car came JDM front. Unless I get like a DB8 from Japan. That would be
That'd be
that's
nuts.
some that's something that I always wanted, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's,
This is
that's too hard.
it's it's pricey too. Very pricey. But you never know. You
Yeah, but
might.
one of the things that I would want to do would be right hand drive swap it, but there's kind of hard to find a tan interior right hand drive swap. Like that'll be too
I
hard.
wouldn't mess with that car. Your car is stupid clean, dude. I would just leave as is and then go find another shell to do all that stuff.
And that's the move. That's the move to do. But it's kind of the market is kind of
It's wild.
shitty.
It's
You
wild.
get people want like 3 grand for like a bucket. And
Oh yeah.
damn,
It's bad. It's
and
it's
it's crazy because like I try to compare it like to my car and I got it for 17, and if I look for something that's $1,700, it's
nothing
it's
here.
like a shell, like
Mm-hmm.
or something all collapsed. So it's getting hard to even get a project going on.
Yeah. No, it's difficult. I definitely understand where you're coming from because everything is difficult to find, and people that have something are hoarding it, and when they go up and ready to sell, they'll sell it very high. Speaking of being in little cliques, for the most part, people will hook up uh, their buddies with a reasonable price, but to the rest of the world, they'll tax it up or
Yeah,
you know um right now with the world of raffles, it's insane because you
yeah,
know you're and I don't participate in raffles, nor do I have anything negative to say about them. um I don't think I've ever seen anything that really grabbed my attention, that maybe I would, but what it does, it ensures that the seller is going to get an X amount of money while everybody else is gambling their money away.
yeah.
If it happens, it happens. But that part itself is still going to maintain that high price. And so the person who gets it even for $100, they're going to be like, well, I can hook
ten
it up to
grand.
my homie and it's not going to hurt. Or if I sell it to somebody else, I'm going to sell it for what that guy got it, even though I pay $100. Like it's still, like you're not, it's hard to find somebody that's ever going to be like, oh, I'm going to sell something for less money
Yeah,
than the market wants. And that's not their fault. That's just what you and I are willing to pay for something, right? At the end of the day, these buckets, that's what they are. I mean, they're extremely clean, but we're spending money on cars that are the 90s. Like the responsible thing to do is to get rid of those and buy a new car, and you will never have a
more
problem.
reliable.
But we don't want that. We want something about the 90s, and I don't know, just a reliable, somewhat reliable older car. That's what brings us, the happiness.
It does. It's just this is makes me turn into ¿cómo se llama? Un amargado, una persona más feliz.
Have you ever thought about getting something newer and just kind of like, have you ever thought about stepping out of the car game in general?
No, I think the more time goes by, I kind of get more into it, but it's just like something different. Like I kind of want a CRV now. Like I want something.
Everybody has a CRV.
I know, like I've been wanting one, but like just that thing is going up in price too.
You
And
would lift it,
then
right?
yeah, I'll lift it and I'll off-road it.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
because
there's this SoCal CRV crew. It's a cool little hub to be part of. So
I
there's a
know that's
community
cool.
for
It's
it.
cool to see those
Who
off-roading.
says no? But yes, like who says let me build this CRV?
I think I would really want to boost the CRV.
And there are. I mean, there's people doing all wheel. Some are all wheel drive, but they're doing all wheel drive conversions and boosting them and doing these crazy swaps on them. And they're great looking cars. And then you take it up to off roading, and then um, obviously the SoCal CRV crew is trying to do cars and coffee or like meets and then going
Yeah,
off-roading. And I see some of the footage. I haven't been able to come out to see it, but it looks like fun. You know,
it
they're
does. It's just going out in a big crowd, like in the like all looking for the same thing, is kind of like enjoy your time with
well
the
you wouldn't
CRV.
know because you're never part of a caravan, but it's pretty cool. I've
No,
been like,
yeah, yeah,
but
that would be nice.
so speaking of that, I mean, I think that you got 619 Fender rolling, Antonio.
Yeah,
Um, Now started way back Wednesdays in San Diego, and that's what it takes. It takes somebody to start doing little things here and there. So you better not miss those because that's how you.
yeah.
I know
I
it's
have.
during the week and it's difficult because you got all these other stuff going on, but you want that to be you want that to continue to go, then you have to show up because then on Sunday when you guys are like, hey, let's throw cars and coffee, most likely those same individuals from Wednesdays are going to show up to the weekend ones. And so you ask, even the guys from the original boba meet in West Covina, you mentioned you drove up to LA, to some of their
Like
Friday
twice, yeah.
when they were 6 7 of them. Now they've had to scale back because they got so big and they didn't feel comfortable. They, some people burnt the spot or whatever the case may be. So now they're hosting them, kind of low key by themselves again.
Yeah,
Well, that's gonna be you guys. Hopefully you guys go
yeah,
out and continue to do it.
yeah. I wish I went to the first one way back Wednesdays, and I haven't been able to go to this past couple ones. But I've been trying to, with the whole state rest thing, it's kind of like scary.
That really messed you up.
Yeah, it kind of hurt my emotions.
Why did you get stare? What did you do? Two stepping in front of a cop?
Okay, so me and Ivan, we're gonna go on a cruise.
That
One
I
of the fucking cruise that we set up. We're like, hey, let's do a cruise, see who's down. And apparently, some people did show up, but we didn't.
never make it.
We never made it. We were we were at a stoplight on the mile of cars right here by my house, and the gas station was 2 blocks away. And Ivan and I just start revving it, and then he dips and he just screeches his tires, but he's like, and then he just stops. And then I just kind of go behind him, try to catch up to him, and I hit rev limiter too, like. But there was a cop and a bike cop in the next block, the block before the gas station, and he thought that we were racing, and he said like, oh, he turned on his lights and he's like, pull over, like, and we pull over, and then he comes to the car and he's like, I'm gonna tow your car for racing. I'm like, dude, we weren't even racing. Like, you just heard us like stepping on it, but you didn't even see us racing. Like, we weren't even going past 40 miles an hour. Like, first gear. That's it. That's all we hit was first gear. If we were racing, we'd be flying down mile cars,
Mhm.
but we weren't. So he's like, pop your hood, and he was like, oh, he's like, I see they got a turbo, you got this venting to the atmosphere, and I was like, fuck, he knows his shit.
You're like,
The food
it's
stuff.
stock, sir.
So yeah, my car got impounded, and then we both got state rest.
One of the funniest things on that though, was it Ivan who took pictures of you taking things apart on
Oh,
the
that
side
was
of the road?
that was my girl.
So what did you tell the officer? You're like, well, let me take my
It was
stuff
like
first.
it was like, hey, I'm gonna take my bumper off, and he's like, do whatever you want before the tow truck gets here. And I took my bumper off. I took my hood off. I took all my all my Chasing J's titanium stuff. I took it off. Like, y así lo dejé encueradito.
I saw that, man. I was like, just laughing, like, you know what? Nestor would be the guy who'd be like, let me take my stuff off first before you
And
take the
then
car.
and I put it in the back of my girl's Lexus, and I was like, fuck it. That was it. That was it. For 2 days, my car was in jail.
Now it's out, but now you're scared to drive it.
Yeah, I'm scared to drive it. I'm kind of paranoid, like if I'm driving under the influence.
No, ma. Nah, I get you. I can't even imagine. Like it's difficult because now it's like it was in your community. So if you drive
Yeah,
around the community, what if? And that what if is a big expensive lesson. Um,
yeah,
and you would definitely don't want to be going down that rabbit hole again.
I
But
wouldn't. That would be the worst thing.
it won't. Let's keep positive. Let's keep positive. But we'll stop hitting the rev limiter uh, on the street during the day in a crowded
I
place
know, I know, and it's just so hot right now, so I can't even drive it too hard.
because of the them turbo, huh?
But I do drive it still.
So that's the
Sad
thing,
though.
man. Like it's crazy. Like, cause is that one still your daily?
Yeah, that's my only car.
Shit, loco, man. It's
I
crazy. I
know,
don't
right?
know how you do that, man. It's wild. Like for you to be like, yeah, I probably would have bought like a cheap Honda Accord or
Wait,
something and just
wait. Why in the cord?
because it's the
Ooh.
best food.
No,
Keep
honestly,
keep sleeping
back
on
in the
them. Keep sleeping
day,
on them.
before I got the EF sedan, I really wanted a CB7, like
You
or
keep sleeping on them. That's okay. We know what
I
we
just
got. We don't want to be paying 3 grand for a clapped out Integra. And now they're going up because they're reliable. But yeah, keep sleeping on the Accords.
it's all right, it's all right.
They're
I want
great
a CRV.
cars. So that's gonna go the next route, CRV.
Yeah, CRV. Something.
Man,
Yeah, I can't get rid of my '90s cars, dude. Like it's like my thing. But
your
yeah, like
thing.
I can't. Yeah, dude. Like it's new cars are cool and all, but like it's just like regular ass traffic.
They definitely don't have that personality. I'll tell you that much. But
But yeah,
that's the plan for you, the CRV.
that's my plan. But I honestly don't think it's gonna happen because I haven't been able to find one.
So you've been looking then. You've been actively looking for.
Yeah, yeah, I've been
Is there
looking.
anything specific? Speaking of raffles, Brandon, I don't know you know he runs a big EF page. We have shut up.
Yeah,
He's raffling a CRV. It's not one. It's not like the 90s. I think it's like early 2000s. I could be wrong.
yeah, he's like a 2000 and something, but
You don't want that.
that's too new. That's too new for me.
That's too new.
Yeah,
If it starts with the two, I don't want it.
yeah, it has to be
If
99.
if it passes smog too easy, I don't want
I
it.
don't want it.
Okay, okay. I'll keep an eye out. Anything I see, I find, I'll shoot it your way.
Nothing more than $1,000 though.
Okay, well then forget about it. You're never gonna get it. No, those guys are wild, man. Everything's going up in everything's going up in price, man. It's crazy, and you're part of the problem too because you drive a nice Integra, so not like you're.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to sell it though.
Yeah. Well,
Probably for the right price, maybe.
hopefully you don't. No, you're not gonna sell it.
Nah, I'm
Nah,
not gonna
uh-uh.
sell
You've done too much work to it. It's way too
it.
much work.
Yeah, I mean, look at this.
What is that? Let me see. Oh, what is that?
My visors.
Wow. Straight out baller. Just throw
Dude,
cash on it.
I'm broke.
Bro. But the car looks good.
It was the visors or Senna. So like visors.
You guys are not eating
So
tonight.
like not eating for like a whole month.
Hey, I get
Put us papitas.
that is a sacrifice that you have to make to build a nice car like yours.
Especially now, dude. These were not cheap.
Where did you find them?
Some guy his name's Jay on Instagram. I think on Instagram. I don't want to butcher it, but it's like Cool10 DB8 J. Or, I don't know. I forgot.
You butchered it.
Yeah, I hella butchered it, but his name's Jay, and he's a pretty cool dude. But he has a crazy collection of stuff. Yeah, I told him he's hoarding a whole bunch. I mean, dude, he gave me an original box. I'm like, I wasn't even expecting the original box.
That's crazy. I'm not gonna ask you how much you pay for it, but that's definitely going up in
Yeah,
value. You're missing a finger. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's the reason why
yeah.
your car looks the way it looks and mine looks the way it looks. Because I'm not willing to pay that much. That's good. Hey, you know what? that's our hobby, and that's what keeps us in a good mood. And sometimes it gives us headaches, but ultimately wrenching, driving your car, you know, you you get to meet people because of your car that you
Yeah,
normally would never even come in contact, but because you drive that car and now Instagram, and then you meet up with them, and then you have a good vibe. um that's what it is. That's ultimately, I think, everybody needs a hobby. Everyone
yeah.
needs a hobby, and so I'm glad that this hobby of yours has led me to meeting you, because again, man, you're a pretty cool, chill dude. We play video games, and you like playing zombies all the time. It's freaking annoying, but I'm like, so I suck at the zombie ones, but you suck at the other
That,
one, and I like the other ones. But um, just
that's good.
having brunch with you and your girl like that was also a cool experience. The fact that you guys are super cool people to just meet up with us, my wife and I, and to be able to, you know, just share another experience. And I
Yeah,
can go ahead.
no, it was really awesome getting to know you, and like you said before, like it's how we got to know each other and how it seemed like we knew each other from like for a while. It was cool, it just like we knew like our vibes kind of clicked, and like it was really awesome to start talking to you and like getting to know you and fucking playing video games like you said and hanging out. Even spotting you in LA randomly was like, it was so random. I
You're
promise you, it
like
was
being a
not.
creeper. Yeah, you're like,
I
hey,
promise.
I know this is weird, but are you at Griffith Park? And I'm like, I heard that after I saw you, and you recognize me based on my daily red stock Accord. Like, that's weird. Like, it's not even like, okay, Jackie, okay, I can kind of see it, but it was a red stock Accord. You're like, wait, are you in
I
Griffith
know,
Park? I was like,
parked like a hyena, like doesn't
well,
know how
that
to.
we're not gonna get into the way that I was parked. It was a small spot, and I didn't feel like we were
Bro, you
eating.
had like 8 feet on each side, right?
Some cars left by the time we
Okay,
got
okay.
there. But nah, man, legit, I really appreciate, like, just you as a person, your friendship.
No, thank you, man.
Thank
I
you for
appreciate
supporting.
you too.
Nah, I appreciate, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. Buying merch,
Not
and
ghosting
obviously,
you.
uh, and also, driving. You drove like 2 hours to meet up with me, and so there's so much that I gotta be thankful for you, man. And you were about to help me when I went to my last vacation, and you were gonna house the car for a week. Like, there's just so much about you that it spits and it just spreads positivity, and that's you know something that the car got us together, but now we're getting to know each other through this. and
Yeah.
and I think that that's pretty cool that you're open to sharing your story, which is a pretty crazy story. It definitely is. You had a different, childhood, and the way you grew up, and how that shapes the things that we're doing, how we do things. And so, yeah, definitely your dad did, and your mom gave you good morals and things of that nature. And that's the reason why you are the way you are. Honest person,
Thanks, man.
hardworking, and super cool to hang out with. Um, and like I said, I think people need to know the story. You see a clapped out Integra. They see a sedan Integra with badass fitment, but at least they'll be like, oh,
Yeah. I know why.
I know why. Yeah, nobody to guide them throughout the whole process. But
La neta.
nah, man, I really
Oh,
appreciate
shit.
your time. Thank you for being part of this. One day one of us is gonna be gone, and
No chinga there.
no, it is true. It's true, man. It's true, and we don't know when. And so, you
So,
know, I just wanna say thank you, and I wanna say that I really appreciate your friendship, man. Because sometimes
No,
we don't
thank you,
say it.
man.
We don't
I
say it.
know, like, people are scared to
You
say I
feel so
love you,
you,
you
you
know?
feel so uncomfortable right now.
Oh,
they,
güey.
they didn't teach you emotions, huh?
No mames, güey.
Mom,
Oh
what
my
do I do?
God,
Nobody's
güey.
being nice to me.
Qué pedo. Mis chiquillas se deben de sentir así, güey.
You're like, not even my girl talks to me like
Ay, güey, no mames, güey, ¿te quieres casar, güey?
that.
You gotta
No,
turn
man.
Muslim and like.
No, no, no. But I really mean that, man. I really mean that. I think, like, it's important to remind ourselves. And so, like, again, man, thank you so much for making time for us. Thank you so much for being so vulnerable at the interview. Now this, like, I don't know, man.
Estoy para lo que tú quieras, güey. Tú dime,
Así
tú
dice. Ya
dime.
cuando la vende de veras se espantan. Bro, no
No,
para
pues
todo.
sí. I was like, no manches.
It's cold. It's like 95 degrees outside. Nah, man, but I'm looking forward to having more brunch and
Yeah, dude, definitely.
I can't
We
I
definitely
can't
gotta hang
I
out
can't
more.
share places where I want to go and visit because you might steal them like you did last time, and not even invite us. Which that's the real thing that
They're
I'm.
too. You're always traveling, so ¿para qué te voy a invitar si vas a estar como en pinche en el pedorro del diablo?
Let's make it happen. We gotta go to TJ and hang out there.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. I gotta show you a cool time. And I'm not talking strip clubs. I'm talking about like food, like going places.
And
You know,
then I
like
don't want to go there.
yo to-
What is it? Let's go to Lips. Is that what you said?
Dale, vamos a live.
Nestorin, thank you
Very
so much
cool.
for your time, man. I really appreciate you.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate you and like have taking time of your day to like bullshit with me and you know get to know me a little bit better. And like I said, and I've said before, it means a lot. Y la neta, tengo un lugar en mi corazón para ti.
Quiero llorar.
Güey.
Is it? We can't be like that serious.
Yo sé, no me dejes ser serio, güey, pinche
You can't. Everyone, well, thank you so much for tuning in to podcast here in Offset Conversation and Automotive Anatomy. You guys know it, a place for us to get to know somebody on a personal level, BS, obviously car stuff, and then everything else that comes around. So thank you guys for your time.
Yeah,
Thank you, Nestor. And it looks like you want to say
thank
something
you too.
else.
I kind of want to do, I want to say something.
What do you want to
Hey,
say?
Samuel Rubio, vete a la chingada. Oh,
That was not
shit.
going to listen this long.
Nah, he's not, he's going to be like,
Okay, for those that don't know, there's a guy. He always comments on my videos. Big shout out Samuel, but I think he doesn't watch the whole
Samuel.
thing. He always like he wants to be the first one, and he's always like,
Yeah, always.
"Where's Nestorin?" Like he's always asking about you. He
I
DMs me about
know.
like Nestorin, this Nestorin, and so yeah, Nestor was like, "Dude, I'm gonna give a big fat ass shout out to Samuel."
Yeah, dude, that was funny. Like, it's like the, I,
Because he
if
DMs
you
you,
see
right?
him, yeah, he DMs me
Okay, he
all the
DMs
time.
you. He DMs FM Spec. He DMs some other dude. He's like, dude, what's up with that guy? Like,
That
what he
was
says
talking
does
shit
not
all the
make
time.
sense. Like, I speak.
Dude,
Doesn't make sense. I'm like, yeah.
I've told him like, hey, wait, ¿tienes los dedos grandes o qué pedo? Porque parece que. I was like, no manches. And you were right. He does work for gutters. Like, I was like, ¿qué haces? He was like, pues esto es lo que yo hago. And he shows me like a video of what he does. I'm like, ¿los limpias o qué pedo? I was like, los pongo. Te quedan bonitos, tan chidos.
Big shout
And
out
I'm
to
like,
someone.
he's like 4'6" or something. Like, he's like, no, I don't. He just, I just imagine him like a really tiny Mexican. Con cadenotas así y una esclava, you know, like.
Jeez, I messed up.
With his Wrangler jeans and like cowboy boots.
I told him he drives a Prelude, so
Yeah.
he has bad taste to begin with, you know. And no, but man, yeah,
Dude,
big shout out to Samuel, man. He loves
I
Nestor.
know.
He's probably gonna
I
watch this whole
know.
thing. He's gonna hit me up, be like, "Hey, qué pedo? ¿Qué dijeron de mí?"
Oh, pinche Samuel, te queremos, güey. Nunca no te conocemos, pero
Eres
eres
cura, güey.
curado, eres
Eres
cura,
cura,
pero
güey.
pinche
Eres cura.
cura, cabrón.
I first DM'd like 8 people, and I was like, "Bro, like, what's up with this guy?"
This
All
random
right.
Mexican dude. Oh shit.
Well, he watches the channel, so I appreciate him for doing that. But
Yeah, see, day one right there.
for sure they won it. He lets me know. But yeah, man. Hasta luego. Catch
Hasta
you.
luego, te cuidas.
Let me know
Te
when
la
you
lavas.
wanna play video games.
Pues ahorita en 15 minutos.
I'm down. I'm
I'm
down.
down too.
Yeah,
Arre,
okay. Let me put on
arre,
the
Lulu.
game. Okay.
Okay.
Well, actually,
Te cuidas.
no, wait, tengo que ir a caminar. What time does your girl get home?
Hasta las 9:30, güey. No hay
Okay.
tiempo, güey.
Okay. I'm gonna try to go on a walk and then I'll let you know.
Automotive Anatomy After Dark. Sheesh.